Listen carefully to what Sean Duffy and Mike Johnson are doing here.
But again, the No Kings protest, Maria, really frustrating. I mean, this is part of Antifa, paid protesters. It begs the question, who's funding it?
This Hate America rally that they have coming up for October 18th, the Antifa crowd and the pro-Hamas crowd and the Marxists, they're all going to gather on the mall. We got some House Democrats selling T-shirts for this event. It is an outrageous gathering for outrageous purposes.
Americans are planning to peacefully protest in the streets, and their immediate response is that this is Antifa, paid protesters, and who's funding it. This isn't just spin. This is dangerous. They're systematically labeling millions of Americans exercising their constitutional rights as terrorists. And they're doing it for a reason. Because when peaceful protest becomes domestic terrorism, when dissent becomes paid agitation, that's when they can justify cracking down. That's when masked agents in the streets don't seem unreasonable. That's when arrests without warrants start to make sense. And remember, Epstein BFF just signed an executive order labeling Antifa a domestic terrorist organization, a term that isn't even defined in federal law, giving his administration the power to target anyone they choose to put under that label. And here's the hypocrisy. Sean Duffy wants to know who's funding peaceful protests while his party stayed silent about who funded January 6th. 5 dead, 140 officers injured, our Capitol breach, but you don't hear them asking about that money because this was never about funding. It's about whose dissent is legitimate and whose can be criminalized. When their side storms the Capitol, it's legitimate discourse. When we march peacefully, we're terrorists. That's why we say no kings, because in America, no president is above the law and no leader's power is absolute. This is how authoritarianism works, one accusation at a time until peaceful protest seems dangerous and actual violence seems justified. When they call us Antifa, they're not describing us, they're describing what they want to do to us. This is what's at stake.